We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Our academic and applied esports program provides our competitive gamers a national stage to compete with other Division I universities. Our academic objective allows us to use esports to foster innovative, interdisciplinary connections.
Esports right now is an ever-expanding career field, and having the opportunity to showcase its many facets through education is really inspiring.
Group of Death continues here at EGF Power Series. We've got Marquette playing their second back-to-back, and we've got them up against Washington State. So this is going to be an interesting one, Worst, because we're heading over onto Split, which is one we haven't seen much of. In fact, I don't think we have any tape for Washington State on Split, but in general, these two teams appear to be pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty evenly matched going into it. I mean, both of them losing in a similar fashion to a team might indicate that. I don't know. It's different maps as well. It's always so hard to say, especially in these best of ones. But, I mean, the biggest thing has been William and Mary have really surprised a lot of people. And Marquette and Washington State have to now catch up to them, right? So now they have to catch up to that level of play that we've seen from them point up. And, again, for this group, only two can make it out. It is the unfortunate reality of it. I would love to see them all make it through. I would love to see them all participate, but only two can make it out, as we are going to have a 6-man final playoff bracket. The biggest thing about these groups of 4, we had a group of 3 earlier. The biggest thing about these groups of 4 are you get out a top seed, you go out with a bye. So William and Mary are looking to secure that. These two teams looking to fight that as well, but it'll be a close one for every single which team. And man, am I just... I'm sad that I can't see them all go in, but I am really excited to see the amount of level of Valorant we have, because it really does remind me of Prelim 1, where Prelim 1 was both groups so close. Well, not both groups. The one group was just incredibly close, which William Mary was a part of before. And it was like a 4-man group of death, and I was like, just like, everyone's here is so good.
Well, and the way you've set it up there is so perfect, because that means that this matchup, this head-to-head right here, could be the most important of the entire day, right? We've already seen both of these teams go down in very exciting, relatively close matches to William and Mary, and like you say, only 2 teams make it out. Idaho seems to be pretty much in the bottom ranking there from what we've seen so far, and so Marquette and Crimson are battling for that second-place spot in the group to get out and head to that final tournament. Heading over onto Split here between 2 teams. Huge amount of stakes on this one map right now, and the later map that they'll play off stream. So I cannot wait to see what we see. Now, I can talk a little bit about Marquette on Split, because we did see them play, I believe, in Prelim 2 on that one. They went up against Sienna Saints there and ended up winning 13-7. But the funny thing was, on Haven for Marquette, their defensive half was their stronger half. They ended up going 6-1 on the attack side, but Sienna comes back and makes it 5-7 at the end of the half. Then Marquette don't drop a single round on their defensive half of Split. So that is going to be very exciting to see in terms of if they can bring up that same kind of performance. And against kind of the measured, prepared approach of Washington State, I think it's going to be required for them today.
And again, we're kind of seeing how this Split is going to turn out. I think every time we talk about Split, defense-sided. It's always what we got to say. It's always what we got to preface it with. 7-5 is an amazing half. Down 7-5 is an amazing half of the attacking side. That's what I'm talking about when we say it's defensive-sided. It is the most sided map in the game, in my opinion. And I think that's quite easy to say. So trying to see how these teams go out, I think it's always good to look at the attacking side for teams. How does that look for them as I fade in and out of existence?
Yeah, you know, never, as I said before, never let them know your next move. Who knows if Worst will continue to be on your screen for the rest of the broadcast. But I also do have to apologize to Patron on Marquette because I was saying Patron again. I made the same mistake as I did last time. It's been too long. I gotta get back. I gotta cast EGF more regularly so I don't keep making these mistakes. We are heading on to the map, the agent selection, pardon me, that's going to be WSU Crimson going over onto the defensive side first. And Washington State has looked very, very good on their defensive halves. But I think that Marquette, you know, just judging that we've had a little bit more experience watching them on split, if I have to favor somebody, it's kind of a wash. But if I have to favor somebody, I'm going to go for Marquette here.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I'm going to favor Marquette in this, but it's not confidently. It is very much, I'm saying 55, 50, 45, almost close to that 50-50. Sure, I'm serious when I say that. Like, I'm not bluffing. Like, that is how close I think these two teams could be in this matchup here.
Yeah, and you know, who knows? I mean, one of these teams could have brought a much more prepared, much more measured and, you know, organized approach to split. And it is a map that, you know, can rely on a lot of these executes, right? Like you say, in a defensive sided map, your prep on attack is everything. The more rounds you can squeeze out of your attack half, the better over here. So that's going to be, as I say, WSU starting over on that defensive half. We see Iffy going off of the chamber for the first time today, heading on to the Killjoy. Definitely not surprising on this map. Over on the other side, we do see Keck going back onto the Cypher, perhaps a bit of a one trick, but Cypher obviously very useful on split as well, especially on the defensive side. Migs is back onto that KO. Patron now heads over to the Sky, so we've got the double initiator and triple flash over on the attacking side for Marquette, and the Raze as well to just add to that attack power, and this could be a very explosive attack half indeed.
Yep. Already up through mid. Trying to find something here. And I think it could be a bit of a rough time here. Trying to get through Isri to start. But
now what is Migs doing back there?
I don't know.
Just standing in the corner with the spike, looking at a spot that's already completely covered. Just hanging out. But here comes the approach into the mid area, and Dog gets the better of Ree in that situation. So it is going to be Migs finally moving out of the comfy little sleeping position over at the back of B. Patron as well is moving in aggressively. And yeah, this is just WSU, pardon me, Marquette getting very, very aggressive and really being rewarded for it. It's Loaf main on the Jet remaining, and with 10 HP to their name, Keck is going to have no trouble dealing with that. It's Marquette going up 1-0.
Marquette up 1-0 already, and they're going to try and really start to push this one. As I mean, here's the thing, right? For Marquette coming in, they obviously went out last time to DePaul in the grand finals, and so to be grouped here would be, let's say, a step down in that department. So they want to kind of secure this as much as possible. Not secure this, but they really want to get back in there. They want to face off against these top tier teams because not only did they lose to DePaul last time, they've also lost to Wichita State in the past. They've lost to other teams in the past. They've been grouped before. And so from grouped to this match, from grouped to finals to grouped again would be not the pattern you want to see. And obviously, it's a group similar to what the one they had in the first prelim. So it makes sense if they were to, but that's not the improvement you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. You're hoping for a little more prep in that situation. Washington State, though, trying to fight back on this eco round here. Those Sheriffs are coming out strong, but Patron and Dog will handle that pretty well. In the end, it's only going to be Demetrius remaining and actually catches Dog there. There's a minute left in the round and plenty of time to set this up. Demetrius turns around just at the wrong time. And Patron is going to be able to get the plant fake and kill Demetrius on the punish. So 2-0, it got a little dicey for Marquette, but they do manage to take the expected anti-eco round. They're heading into a pretty weak bonus, and as a matter of fact, you can see Dog considering buying up that rifle here.
Yeah. And now we kind of see what's the next round going to bring us in this bonus. I see a stinger from Migs. I don't like stingers. I've made this very clear in the past, but I'm not a big fan of stingers, and to see that here, yeah, to see that here, I don't like it as much. I am honestly like, I would rather have a sheriff than stinger. On a bonus run, I would rather have a sheriff.
Well, we'll see if they can prove you wrong. I tend to agree, and Demetrius though does have to get out of dodge. Pressured on ramps there as the A hit comes through, but look at this. Look at this, worst. Big fake coming through. Blades with free access to the site alongside the Rays here. So that's going to be the plant. Ready to come through, but actually they might have rotated in time. The spike will be denied. Retrades that out, but this fake has not resulted in what they need. But Keck, what is this? How do you find this angle? And almost kind of messes up the aim, but still kills D-Bands there. 4 versus 3 for the attackers, and Marquette are well on their way to winning a bonus they really had no right getting into. Demetrius to equalize, and Loafmane on this off angle has a very big advantage against a low HP Keck, but there's the headshot. Great peek there from the Cypher, and Keck gets another one? This dude is unreal right now, and Patron finishes it off as well. Marquette win the bonus.
A bonus on attack. On attack. The biggest part. We mentioned, we started this all out.
Yeah.
Let's talking about how defensive side of this map is. To win the bonus on attack is incredible for Marquette to get them going. Even if this only goes to 5 rounds, to get them 5 rounds. We already said 7-5 was an amazing half. So even if they lose 7 in a row, that's amazing for them. I mean, yeah, this is going to be a great start here for Marquette, and really the kind of momentum they need to build on, not only for this map, but also for the group stage as a whole.
Yeah, and, you know, they're doing it with a less normal comp, a little bit more of an unusual setup here, not running anything with that Killjoy. Just Demetrius finding a pick off the top, though, and they are on the save, so any damage Washington State can do here will be useful. They do also get a nice amount of info through mid, and Loafmane gets a nice catch. Dog goes down to the push. Washington State could shut this right down. The reason winning that bonus was so good is because it nearly guarantees this round, but that nearly is doing a lot of work in that statement right there. There's always a chance with the likes of those sheriffs, and now the Blade Storm has been popped by Loafmane. And so this mid area just got a lot more treacherous right here. And they're going to go for one. There's Blades getting the headshot. Very, very useful to shut that down. 4 versus 3 situation for Washington State as they continue to work their way towards the B site. With smokes coming down, though, they decide to reset.
Yep. This is not how you want to lose this one for Marquette, to go from winning the bonus to losing to the eco. But it can happen. Porta Force, obviously a factor in it, could be here. Going to it, already down. But a Keck, been so good so far, but again, Sheriff, better than the Singer. He's gonna find a Keck. Now it's a 2v1, but Patron only has 45 HP and 12 seconds to work with. And Ree is gonna end it all off. The Thrifty comes through. And that's the snowball dealt with.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely nipped in the bud right there. Definitely that fire has been put out by Washington State, and Marquette definitely not going to be happy with that. You can see, of course, there's a lot of money. Look at Patron, 8,000 credits right there. So plenty of cash, even though it's all stacked up on that one agent. So they're going to be able to buy this round, and likely they're going to be able to scrape together something next round, even if they lose. But we have the first gun round in earnest coming through, and Demetrius has gone for light armor in order to pick up that operator. So the Tour de Force helping them, deal with the previous round. Tour de Force and Blade Storm had been popped there. Showstopper, though, meanwhile, is popped to try to get access into this site. Going to have to go for something, but look at that orbital strike. Ree completely deals with this as Dog gets so shut down, and Washington State are shutting it all down right here. This A hit was complete failure to launch for Marquette, unless if the 2 remaining initiators can get something done. Man, what a defense from Washington State. What a setup to deal with that Showstopper. Mig's gonna try to get something out of this still. There's a couple of flashes available. That's a nice headshot for Migs. Tries to continue to get more. Ree will trade that out, and will kill Patron, pardon me. Now it's only Migs remaining. Spike is over on the site, so very, very little left to do, and that's Demetrius to remove Miggs's head. So there we go. We have Washington State putting another one on the board, winning that first gun round. And Marquette, I did mention that they did have some sort of a buy available here, but it does look like they're going to be a little bit rough with what they decided to purchase the previous round. So that's going to be a half buy at best, and more likely a near full save over on the side of the attackers here.
Yep. And now momentum stopped into a round win as well. And the defensive side split might just rear its head. Again, it's not to take away from anything from teams, but just how the map does end up working. And with Patron already gone, that's your sky flashes to get people off of angles. It's gonna make it really hard to get into places. But with that, Domains is gonna have to whack this up, but only if to get that wolf off and really secure some more info for their team.
Yeah, spotted 2 in mid there, so definitely got some value out of the wolf, but not going to be much more gain just yet as the dark cover comes down, and Loaf main uses that to punish Dog there. D-Bands as well going to be able to find that defensive kill, and Iffy's pushing up aggressive. Great headshot onto Miggs. They're going to be able to deal with this one. Ooh! Iffy with a little bit of flash right there, a little bit of style on that last flick, and ends up with a flawless round for Washington State as they equalize on the defensive half.
Now we're going to see this kind of continue on, but can the buy here from Marquette slow down Washington State now that they're starting to accrue the momentum? Early half is oftentimes very streaky because of how money ends up working. But now we're going to see if that will be tested here, as 3-3 is the scoreline, but soon... I mean, there have been some knife lineups here from Miggs. I'm interested to see this one come in. Where is this going to go?
Likely
it's top.
yeah,
it's just top mid, but it doesn't find anything right there. Though obviously they're backing off into male, so not going to find anything.
Yeah, I've seen a lineup that goes a little different than that. I wonder if it was a miss, but it did look like it. Yeah, it did force them to back off regardless. And it gives access to male, as you say. But Demetrius uses that, you know, sort of pushes up. And, oh, misses the shot. That's the jiggle peek from Miggs, and it's very successful. That's the operator removed, and the null command is now popped for B. And so what will this result in? That's going to be Iffy going on the rotate right off of that ult popped. They are able to punish, and Miggs just continues to push in, continues to draw focus as the spike goes down on A.
Spike planted.
Spike is down, and Patron
Oh, man.
playing the flank, the lurk position. Oh, the jump there, unfortunate from Dog. Now it's on to things, 2-on-2. Patron still in heaven. Well, actually not going to find it, but has to watch out for the Sky. The Sky battle here is going to be so important. Patron wins it. Now it's on the Loaf main, onto the Spike. Gonna get half and then get off of it.
Loaf main's in such a difficult spot right here. Gets one, but isn't able to flick up to the Sky in heaven. Oh man, that would have been that would have been miraculous. But it's Marquette with a great attacking half, to be honest. You know, just the value, the mid-round call there after Miggs gets that kill onto Demetrius to use the null command to draw focus and push them in, get all over onto A, and not only that, but set up to kill the rotators. Really, really nice from Marquette to grab that attacking half. They go on to another gun round now with Demetrius rebuying the operator, and definitely going to be a little bit more trepidatious pushing up like that, with Miggs playing it to perfection the last time that Demetrius tried it. And here we go, going to go aggressive again, goes for the shot and misses there. Gonna get a lot of info, but the B site is now very firmly held by Marquette here as they get the plant in the safe default position. Still have the likes of paint shells and the fragment to perhaps deal with a post plant. And here's the lockdown to try to get back in. Demetrius is looking for any sort of over-aggression, and it's the cage to get them back into garage. A couple of players may be detained here. Here's D-Ban taking out Dog, though, and that's going to be the Seekers coming in off of the lockdown. Everybody has to flood out back out of garage. Everybody's grouped together for the defenders on site. The defuse comes through. Will it get to half? Yes, it will, and Demetrius can punish. It's only Patron remaining, and no chance at all. What a retake from Washington State, and a flawless round to finish it off.
Yep. And right here, we have back and forth to start. First real one we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And now it's on to pistols. And like I said, sheriffs are very scary. We only have one of them, so not too scary here. What's the play for Marquette? Is it going to be trying to rush his play, play slow? I don't think on split you can really play slow into it. A lot of the time, they're not going to be overextending here for map control. They're going to just have that naturally. So you really are just going to have to kind of make a play. Looks like it's going to be mid. Push them out of mail seems to be the objective. As the boom bot going that way as well. There it is, the rush through the Spectre, the first one in. And it's just going to have to remove this guy from this position. That's a good, just in terms of getting the positioning away from this guy.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of space here, and actually Patron is going to run into Loaf Main, though. That's nice game sense to be sitting there and waiting for that continuing push, but it looks like potentially the site, the plant at least, could go down. There's Reed to try to deny that. Keck somehow finds a right click. There's Loafmane to punish Keck on the neural theft. But still, the spike goes down. Marquette already have a successful eco under their belts right now, and they are only looking for more here. Demetrius is tucked into garage, though, and that's very difficult to deal with. It's only going to be Dog remaining, or no, Dog and Migs remaining, and Migs has absolutely no chance. So Washington State handle that pretty well in the end.
Going to be 5 up now for Washington State, out recovering after that bonus loss. Again, that thrifty getting them back in the game, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like, if that thrifty doesn't come through, it just really, you already have 4 go, you potentially have 5 go, and the momentum is just too far in their favor to stop them at that point. But now, we've just now surpassed them, taken the lead, not only evening it up. And it's time to try and continue that. You want to end this one 8-4 here if you're the defensive side, and you have the ults to do it. You have both, you have Tour de Force, but you already have an operator on that character. I might even just give the op over to Loafmane so they can op, potentially if they do. I know that might not be the role they occupy. We've said this before, that it seems like
often.
We've said for this scene that their chamber seems to be the opper type. Yeah. But like, with knives, you have like knives plus op, and then you give the rifle over to Tour de Force. I think that makes more sense, but
ooh, and there we go. They're trying to get a peek, but D-Ban's on this off angle shuts it down so effectively there. And yeah, just a little bit of an awkward timing that gets completely punished by the Washington State mid defenders. And so they're already down to those 2 players. And remember, Marquette are the ones who are broke. They are not looking good coming into this next round after having bought the rifles here. So honestly, Migs and Keck, if they could get something here, it would be very good, but Demetrius doesn't even let him get close. 2 quick operator kills. And, you know, along with that slow field that comes from the trademark, there was just no chance. Washington State with another flawless round, and look at their money now worse. They are just swimming in cash.
And we now have to kind of go back to the drawing board for Marquette. They have no money. They're going to save for next round, the last round of the half, so they're kind of seeding this over. It's either 7-5 or 8-4 in their mind. It might not go to that 6-6 unless the third can come through of epic proportions. It's going to have to start with this shot, but no, not going to find it. Loafmane is opping this round, so does have that ability, so just didn't want to do it last round, I suppose.
Couple of misses already, but Loafmane, there we go, comes through. Oh, Loafmane through the smoke with knives. And now we got a 5 versus 2 on our hands as Dog goes down as well. And so MGE Migs coming through and trying to get something here, but look at the Dog. What the Dog doing? Really nothing right now, but just enough. Migs goes down after only killing 1, and the rich just get richer. Scrooge McDuck diving into the pile of money as Washington State are on the cusp of 8-4.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see that the play I said they should do the round before comes out on the eco round of all rounds instead of the buy round. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. They gave the off over to Loafmane. They had the Tour de Force with the Phantom of all things for Demetrius, so I wasn't crazy in saying that.
True.
Yeah, gonna come out double up, set up on the defense. This was kind of a liquid special, team liquid special, sure. Kind of. But we're gonna see here last round before the swamp, 8-4, 7-5. That's the only thing left. Oh, the miss shot there. That could have been an amazing start for them. But oh, that's an amazing start if your Dog finding out Loafmane and operator off the table.
Yeah, very little value has come from that showstopper so far, so really nice for Dog to be able to get that one. And now Migs has snuck into that corner. They smoke him off and he ends up getting away, but Demetrius, none the wiser. It's going to be 5 versus 4 for the attackers. They've gotten the value they wanted. Now they are heading over towards A, but Patron has a very nice position here to just sort of cut off those rotators and make it just take longer for them to get to the A site once the presence eventually shows up here. So a lot of responsibilities on Iffy right now up in ramp, the only player anywhere even near A. And there's the null command to come through, so Iffy can't even do things like pop those grenades, those swarm grenades. It's going to be Patron indeed shutting down that first rotation. The plant is free. Marquette looking for that 7 to 5, and it's like you say, that would be a perfectly good result. Here comes the first line of attack. Migs will deal with one. Ree will be able to at least find the other. There's Dog going down. Demetrius to trade that one out, but Demetrius is all alone with the operator. Very difficult retake situation here in a 1 versus 3.
Now we have Demetrius trying to find this one here in the 1v3. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, okay.
Mine's one, but I mean, you're just going to insta-trade it. Like, once the cam spots you, you're done for. You have to pause and stop to press F on that. It's just never going to happen, so.
You need a mistake from your opponents at that point. There's no other way to win it, and they do not make one. That's perfectly well played there for Marquette, and they will head over to the defensive side in a perfectly comfortable position. 5 to 7 for their attack. And like I said, last time we saw Marquette on split back in prelim 2, they did not drop a single round on the defensive half. We will see if they can continue to have that kind of form. We'll see if they have carried that over and if Washington State can do better than Siena as we move into half number 2.
And I said this before, 7-5 is an amazing half on attack side, so Marquette should be excited for that. They're now going to be going towards trying to secure this defense side. It starts with the pistol. If they can win this pistol, I mean, the half really breaks open for them completely, because otherwise they're up 9, they only need 4 more, and while it might be hard to find it there on the attacking side, it's still not impossible. So this is the beginning or the end for one team.
Absolutely. These pistol rounds, so pivotal. This few of rounds in a game. There's some trades coming through, but the defenders end up on top with just, good multiple members kind of working their way into vents and into B heaven there. Lots of double peek options available. They were able to read that mid split was coming and really deal with it well. Demetrius is kind of on an island though, but has ability to gain some info. Continues to a little bit indecisive about where exactly to look. There's the teleporter to come down so Demetrius can reposition, and the spike will already start to be planted over on A. Now, will Dog be able to be punished on that raise? No, it's Demetrius instead who misses the shot, the classic headshot for Patron, and Marquette are on a 4 versus 2 retake here with D-Bands tucked in a nice little spot, but Patron is aware, and Patron gets the shot. It's only Ree remaining. There's one, only managing to find that, and Marquette will get the pistol.
And this is the beginning for them to get this half broken open. Defenders have that advantage naturally, and the composition as well with that Cypher as well, I think does help them out incredibly on the defense, where I do think that the Killjoy might be a point of it's a little harder to get that utility into a site a lot of the time.
Sure.
So I think both the times those two agents in particular tend to excel on the defense, but I think the Brimstone in particular excels on the offense, so it might just counter each other out. So you never really know. It's hard to say for compositions like this. It's like, oh, this should do this or should do this. Not always how it works out in particular. Again, Migs buying the Stinger, stop that. Buy the Spectre. I don't think I had enough money, but still, just buy a share at that point.
You're hurting our poor color caster has been just going like an Energizer Buddy all day.
It's so
and you're hurting
bad.
his feelings,
It's
man.
so bad, isn't it? I mean, I saw Cloud9 buy them, and it looked awful then. I don't think it's changed.
Hasn't Worst been through enough? Teams, hasn't he been through enough? Here's Dog going for the Spectre for the far superior SMG. Marquette will get themselves into a 4 versus 2 situation on this anti-eco. So, not much trouble here. Looks like that Spectre may not even come into play. Look at that. The Spectre does get 1 kill, only just barely, but Iffy manages to take out Keck on the other side. Iffy not holding on to the spike. That's back over, behind the mid area, so as Iffy, you're just kind of waiting to die at this point. And walk out. Look at that. Look at that gun. Just so juicy. Right across. Iffy knows. that's about to happen. Blaze takes it down. Marquette goes up 7-7. And they continue, from what I've seen, their perfect streak on split defense. So not to cast or curse anybody or anything, but Marquette have a very good chance to win this particular matchup with the way they positioned themselves.
And now we have bonus come through. The Bucky picked up. I guess can't afford the judge, so going for the next
Yeah.
thing. Not the next best thing, the next thing. Again, I have very vitriolic opinions about certain guns in this game, about how not good they were and how they used to be good, but then they got nerfed into oblivion. So you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not as controversial an opinion for the Bucky. Definitely find some agreement in the community there. Here's Migs coming out with a flash, but Loafmane deals with it so easily. Great reaction time, or potentially just got lucky on the angle. But in any case, now Keck is tasked with defending this with a shorty. Gets a good, good positioning on the crosshair, but that's the shorty we're talking about. We are not in position to get the kill there. So Washington State looks like they will deal with their opponent's bonus pretty well, and they're going to just get onto site. They're going to get into aggressive post-plant positions, try to deal with themselves for a flawless round. Instead, that's Patron picking up a rifle. So Marquette will be perfectly happy with this if they're able to just save those guns. Patron, you can see, doing something we really like. Here's Blades getting a little aggressive, and that's a perfect paranoia there. So if he goes down as well, is that another rifle retrieved? I'm not sure if he was holding. Yeah, two, high-tier rifles getting picked up. So as long as they can survive, Marquette will consider this a very successful round indeed.
Yeah. And now we have to kind of see what is going to be the next step for these teams. What is going to be the next step for this Marquette squad? They have the raise to kind of make plays aggressively in mid if they want to, the Sky to help them out. So they could go for that avenue, right? So if Washington State gets too comfy in mid, so they go for aggressive plays in mid yourself from the defensive side with the Sky Flash, KO Knives, and just the raise, just sending it down there, potentially with a kind of a shoulder-mounted nuke on their side. So that could always be effective for them. But that is the time to tell. Time will tell about how that's going to end up happening.
Yeah, you have to question how they are going to choose to use this sort of triple flash setup that they've got with Sky, KO, and Omen. There's a lot of opportunity to sort of, pounce on an approach as it's happening and, not get them anywhere. Or you can use those for the retake, of course, right? Those are very good initiation tools, and retake is where you are often in that position as the defenders. So here comes D-Bands. Ooh, that's just Aim Labs is free, folks. That's good crosshair placement right there. Beautiful work onto a overzealous Omen. Now it's going to be trades in mid with Washington State once again coming out ahead. Patron. Ooh, Patron actually tries to get the shot, and that's a rare miss from Patron there. Demetrius punishes that. No problem at all. So 4 versus 2 for Washington State this time. This is the first full gun round, and Washington State have dealt with it handily worst. So Marquette definitely need to be readjusting. And as you say, which way do they go here? Marquette need to make sure that these opening kills, like we just saw over at the balcony there, don't continue to happen.
It's all about showing up where your weaknesses are. It's still early days. It doesn't feel like it, but it still kind of is early days. You have some rounds to give. It's going to be a save here. Oh, a force actually going to come out from Marquette. Some of the members not going to have that much money, so Blades opting in for the Vandal so early means that potentially that might change. Yeah, Bulldog's going to come out, but yeah, going to be kind of a force/mid buy. They're going to buy down. So this round not looking too favorable for them, but still it's defensive side split. Anything could happen. And just because the map is defensive side, it doesn't mean means that every round's going to go to the defense team. Yeah. That's not how that works. It just means naturally it requires more. It requires more from the attacking side to get round wins than it does the defensive side.
Yep, absolutely true. And, Marquette showed that. Here comes Dog trying to play aggressive, but that's easily dealt with there by Washington State. Marquette, well, they get some info, but that's about all. This bonus, or this half by not paying dividends for them whatsoever. So now they are tasked with a 3 versus 5 retake here. 2 flashes available, 3 flashes if they want them. There comes D-Bands, though, all ready to punish Patron, and Migs just was not in position to punish. Blades does manage to grab Ree on the exit. Migs goes down, and it's only Blades in a 1 versus 4. Blades sprays down 2 there with the Bulldog, and suddenly this becomes a little bit scarier for Washington State. Omen trying to strike fear into the hearts, but there's a huge flash, perfectly timed from D-Bands. Blades just had no chance. D-Bands had all the time in the world to put the crosshair on the head right there.
And now we have a little bit of a tricky situation where Migs is gonna be the one glass cannon opping here. I guess if it's like you look at the shot, it's like we don't have a chamber, right?
Yeah.
Normally you'd have a chamber in that position, so it's like where would we have it? It's in the chamber, but don't have it, so I guess it's going on to Migs.
This isn't the first time we've actually seen Migs pick up that op.
No,
did
but
actually pick it up on Ascent as well. So
the glass
definitely,
cannon, though.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's definitely true, or at least light armor. Definitely not standard. I'll grant you that. But we will see if Migs can get some sort of impact out of it. There's a great orbital strike, and Patron just goes down out like a light to that one. Prepare for hellfire indeed. As the
backside
5
is
versus
now
4.
Backside seems to be the place everyone's a little huddling up right now, trying to get this secured.
Now Migs has to try to retake with an operator. It's just such a risk to be buying this, but there we go. The first kill comes through. It's a 2 versus 4 situation, and Keck looking more and more solid, but no, Loafmane punishes. Perfect spot. Migs has got to save the operator now, worst. It is just nowhere near possible to get that retake with this particular gun. So Migs completely gets out of dodge, and Washington State are within 2 rounds of getting ahead of them in the group. Tying them in the group, I suppose, as you see the scores on the records on screen right now.
Oh, Loafman dying at the end there. That's not what they would have wanted.
No, yes.
That's not what they would have wanted at all. Yeah, and so again, it's a little struggling here because your economy's looking bad. Obviously, you saved the op, but I mean, you're still in a bad spot here. I don't know what that's about, but we are going to see kind of the 11-7. Molly CT, we were pushing it.
Yeah, we some all chat. Yeah, I would love to hear Marquette's comms right now, or pardon me, Washington State's comms. Looks like there was a brim molly that ended up preventing Loafmane from getting out of the Radianite blast.
Hey, here's the nuke on the shoulder that I was talking
there
about
we
earlier,
go.
and hit nothing. Hit nothing.
Dog trying to get presence out in mid, and instead just gets taken out by Loafmane there. So they are going to use that advantage that, you know, that's just been gifted to them to head up mid themselves. Washington State in a 5 versus 4. Full mid control, still anchored over on the A site by the Killjoy, who will start to push up here. If he now has been spotted and gets hit by the Paranoia, so has to back off. Just for the peek with the bot. And Loafmane. So you can see Keck is just kind of using the cages to try to keep themselves safe while they wait for rotations. But that's going to be an easy one for Loafmane. Just a little bit of style points there for taking out the tripwire and the player at the same time. Here is the trades coming through. Okay, 2 versus 3 situation here. Marquette, once again, the 2 initiators tasked with the retake. Once again, it's only Migs remaining, and once again, he's got a retake with an op. This time you have to go for it, I think. There's just there's no ground you can give your opponents right now. And the ace for Loafmane, just a sneaky little ace. Got mad enough at his team Brimstone that he just goes, I'll just kill them all this time.
Yeah, and now we have to worry about, we have to really start to worry here. Match point. We talk about defensive side split, but that has been 5 rounds in a row, okay? That is an amazing attack side for Washington State.
Yeah.
And it does not seem to apply here, much like at Champions and VCT. Did not apply then, did not apply here either. And so now it's on Blades to make some kind of crazy play, but it's going to be the knives to try and stop it, and Loafmane finds one! The ultimates are coming out in full force, and where's Patron going? Patron is stuck. Patron is in an actual awful position. Has to run into screens. He's going to get mowed down, and the ultimates have left them high and dry.
Yeah, Loafmane does get unseated, but they've taken so much space, and as you say, Patron had only one choice, and that was to walk out into the crosshairs of their opponents. There's Migs going down. That's Demetrius with 2. Great job on Demetrius with the operator, and the spike still has not even been planted. Ree trying to go for this. Dog has to run around with the Spectre, try to spray and pray, and it's not going to be answered just yet. Here comes Ree, but Dog does manage to find it. It's only going to be Dog. What is this? The knife is coming through. There's 50 seconds left, lots of time in this 1v1, and if he has a chance to end it all right here, it's going to be Dog trying to get over on the other side, and the free kill, the clutch from Dog. And yeah, there's Washington State, you know, having a little bit of fun at the end, but you don't want to do that for too many rounds. Marquette are still a threat here.
Don't give it up. Don't let this go to overtime, because at that point they're gonna have what, 4 rounds in a row, 5 rounds in a row, momentum on their side. You need to close this one out. You need to close it out fast while you still have an economic buffer, while you aren't worried about having to buy sheriffs or stingers or whatever, or buckies or whatever, you know, all that good stuff. You have
Demetrius
to kind of
is trying to save face in all chat right now.
It is what it is. It happens. It all
You know
happens.
what?
Okay.
We don't blame you, Demetrius. You've been doing great.
You've been doing great stuff so far.
You've had a great day. Just one mistake does not take any of that
That's
away.
gonna do a lot of damage to Bands.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know if you want to
Bands
sit
is
there.
in trouble in this spot. Has continued to try to take up this spot, by the way, and actually does get rewarded. Dog did not expect that the utility wouldn't have done enough damage there, but it did not, and so that is going to be Washington State with the advantage once again. 12-8 match point here for Washington State in their most important game of the day. Here's Migs on the back of this smoke. The operator's not the gun you want here, but still could have a very good chance. There's Patron coming in. Great flash to take out D-Bands. And Migs still is on that flank. Here's Ree to take out Patron. Plant is down.
You want to play? Let's play.
Do they know that Migs is here? Yes, they do, and actually Migs does go down. It's only Blades remaining. In an impossible spot worst. Here it comes. Ree with the first peek and the triple swing coming in. Iffy to finish it off. 13-8 for Washington State as they take down some of their stiffest competition, Marquette, and they go 1-1 on the day so far.
I mean, this is a close group, a group of death. We said it multiple times, and it's going to really be on these teams to really step it up and do this. It's a lot of games to play. Like, it's a lot of good competition.
Yeah.
But man, I just love seeing it. I love seeing these close matches. I mean, compared to a couple other group stages we've had, and has been light and day. So I've been really excited to see that. As I wish I could see them all in playoffs, but it's just not feasible.
Yeah, no better gift for a couple of casters than a group of death. It is so exciting to watch these teams battle it out. But after this, we might have some more fun for you because we're heading back to Idaho, folks. We have 2 more matches for the day. Take a bit of a longer break right now, and then we'll be back with Idaho's last 2 as they try to redeem themselves after a very tough loss earlier on in the day. You don't want to miss this.